G'day folks, here's my mid-year review of albums from 2025. G'day folks, Jeff here, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a mid-year review of albums of 2025 so far. So this is sort of like a preliminary top 10 really of what'll most likely end up on my top 20 list by the end of the year. But I thought, man, I haven't done one of these before. Might be interesting to kind of document where my thinking was this time of year. So it's a bit after halfway through the year. So plenty of damn good stuff's come out, that's for sure. Most of what I seem to have bought and enjoyed is death metal, unsurprisingly. Who would have guessed? And a bit of sludge as well. There's some damn fine sludge, Aussie sludge no less, coming out. So we'll get to those. I have received, I get sent promo, like, electronic promos of things these days. So a lot of which seems to be black metal for some reason, even though I don't really buy much of it. But I still appreciate it. I give them a listen, but yeah, not much of that has really impressed me super much of late. So for this I'll be doing my sort of top 10-ish, thereabouts. Also a category of, albums that need more listens. Some that I'm not quite sure about, if you know what I mean. Some that are just like, I'm not buying that, I don't think. And also a list of stuff I'm anticipating, so stuff I'm waiting on. Some of which I've ordered, some of which I'll probably give a listen before I buy it, to tell the truth. I do this in alphabetical order of the first 10, so I haven't really picked an exact favourite of the year. There's a couple that are nudging their way up. There's a couple that I don't actually own yet, but I've listened to a few times. Anyway, let's get into the fun. Alright, first up is Chest Crush, with something in Greek that I'm not going to pretend I can read. This is a UK death metal band, or slightly blackened death metal, but heavy as buggery. So this is the one that I heard in the background of Anthony on Metal Miners, and just was like, buy, why not? So I'm not going to go into intense detail about all these, but this is just so stupendously heavy that it's definitely in the list. Next up, and this one, I gotta say, this is running close to the top, I think, is Corpus Awful with their self-titled album. This is what Cerebral Rot turned into, or a couple of members. Just stodgy, deep as hell death metal, really good low vocals, a bit of the Demolish sort of sound to them, so I'm always going to love that. But they're doing their own thing, but I've been listening to this a ton. This one's definitely up there in the list, that's for bloody sure. The next one's a twofer, and kind of will probably be a threefer in some ways. So this is Australian sludge bands. First up we got Ghost Smoker with their Inertia Cult album, and also, as you might have seen from last time, Reek Mind with their, what the hell's it called? Mired in the Reek of Grief. So, sludge central. This one, both with sort of screamy kind of vocals, and look at that cover art as well. So, bands, I have actually seen Ghost Smoker live, and they're pretty friggin' killer. I'm well keen to see Reek Mind, so just Aussie sludge done nasty. I kind of like the nastiness side of it. It's not bouncy. And the third one that I don't actually own yet, I've only just heard it the once so far, but it fairly blew me away. I'll put a picture of it up, as the new Goat Shaman album, which is another Aussie sludgy sort of band, which is a bit less nasty than those two, but it's pretty out there, that's for sure. There's some weird spacey bits on it, and I listened to it once with headphones, I think last night maybe, and I was just like, holy dooly, a lot going on that one. So I don't know if it's actually scheduled for a physical release yet, so hopefully we'll get it. But very impressive. I'll put links to these top 10-ish sort of ones down the bottom, so feel free to check them out. Next on the list would be Jade, for sure. This is a band that I only really discovered, finally got around to discovering, I think it was this year. So, their Pacification of Death album just blew me away when I finally listened to it. It had been sitting on my hard drive for a couple of years. But this is their new one, something about mysteries. Mysteries of a Flowery Dream, which is, stellar bloody album. Amazing cover art, so atmospheric death metal, which is the best way of putting it. I was thinking about it I was listening to it on the drive home the other day, and it was It's like, yeah, this is sort of melodic death metal, but I really don't want to use that term for it because it doesn't sound like Dark Tranquility or anything like that. But yeah, atmospheric death metal, friggin' killer. After that, we go to the nastier end of the spectrum. I think Mephitic Corpse, this one, yeah, I think this is on a batch of people's lists probably. This is from California, sort of death grindy kind of stuff, heavy as hell, bit of Mortician, bit of, Hemdale sort of stuff, so I'm bound to love it. Awesome cover art. It's just sort of scuzzy sounding, that's what I really like about it. Yeah, it's heavy as buggery. Probably the grittiest sort of thing out of my list so far, I think. Next up, we go to Finland. Who would have guessed? With Morbific. This album has, grown on me a lot. I've been listening to this one quite a bit. It just sort of worms its way in. It's one of those, like, of late I've been listening to music when I go to sleep, so I'll just put, like, a death metal album or something heavy and sort of, backgroundy almost. And these guys get a run, and then I'll sit there going, oh, yeah, actually, I don't want to fall asleep. I want to keep listening to this. So, yeah, just sludgy, autopsy-ish sort of death metal from Finland. Yeah, beautiful stuff. And then after that, bit of grind. There's not that much grind on this list so far, I got to say, which is kind of weird, but Remains. This is a Melbourne supergroup, you could say. Stadium grind with, like, members of Bloodduster and Fuck I'm Dead and The Kill and etc., etc., etc. This is awesome. I've really been enjoying this. The first album was pretty good. Didn't quite blow me away as much as this one. I don't know, it's just a groove to it. It's got a bit of bounce. Just fun. Catchy, fun grind. And yeah, a bit of a death metal-y sort of feel to it as well. There's, some solo-y sort of melodic-y bits as well. But I don't know, there's something about it. It's killer. And last of the ones that I actually own so far, and this one, you'd recognise a batch of these from my collection updates, unsurprisingly, and this one is one that I got last month. This is Rothadus with something very long in Hungarian death doom. Yeah, this one just gets better every time I listen to it, to tell the truth, and plus they're grim looking. Yeah, this is just killer death doom sort of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of death about it, but there's when they go slow, it's just heavy. I love it so much. The other two that round out the top 10-ish or thereabouts is a couple of the ones that I've got digitally so far, but they haven't arrived or they haven't actually been released yet. First one is Filth, band from Sweden with their Time to Rot album. So they're a Swedish death metal band, pretty newish one from 2022. As I said, I got the promo of this, so I've listened to it a batch. It came out on, Misako on Oho and Rotted Life, so it's pretty much a guarantee it's going to be pretty cool, but yeah, I love it. It's mostly slowish, chunky sort of death metal with a really heavy sound. I mean, there's plenty of fast bits in it as well, but they just have a good sort of ominous atmosphere to them. I think it actually comes out next week, maybe. Nothing super original, but just in some parts of it, like I think it's what's the song, Live in Agony, Die in Pain, sounds remarkably familiar, but yeah, I'll be buying it, that's for sure. And the other one that I haven't actually received yet, it is in the mail allegedly, is Toughness with, what's the bloody album called? I can't remember what it's called. Shit, I just had it up on my screen before. Give me a sec. It's very good, Polish but Finnish sounding. Black Respite of Oblivion. So yeah, it's a Polish death metal band. It's got that sort of slightly tech death, but not widdly diddly tech death. Just like, maybe the Demolish side of tech death, if you know what I mean. Weird timing, slightly odd riffs. And the second song with ridiculously long title has definitely got the groove to it. They got some noodly bass lines on there, plus the artwork's done by the guy that Turka that did the Demolish cover art, and a ton of other Finnish bands. So yeah, it sounded bloody good to me. So that one's on its way from FOAD, I think. So yeah, that's the top 10-ish sort of ones. Of the albums that I need to listen to a bit more, just for them to sink in. It can be tricky buying. I know, first world problems. It can be tricky buying the amount of stuff that I do to actually get a chance to sit down and listen to it as well as listen to, your old favourites. I don't want to listen to brand new music all the time. So, you know, I'm still playing Autopsy regularly and all sorts of bands. So, but yeah, these ones I need to give a bit more of a go. I own most of these. So, new Titan Blood album. It's a dense bloody album. Black Death, lovely stuff. And yeah, as I said, they have a dense sound, so it's somewhat impenetrable, but I'll give that a bit more of a go. The new Frenolith hasn't quite blown me away yet, I've got to say. It's like a, what are they, Danish death metal sort of band. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't quite grab me as much as it should, probably. New Pissgrave, I mean, I don't think there's that much more I could possibly get out of the new Pissgrave, because I've listened to it plenty of times, but yeah, it hasn't quite sort of blown me off the charts. The new Pyre album, like a Russian death metal band, I think that's pretty bloody good. I got to give that a few more goes. I think, like, it's kind of tough with these. You'll listen to them like for doing reviews, 5 times in 2 days, and then you got to move on to something else. So yeah, I know, first world problems again. But that new Decrepacy album, yeah, it's still a bit odd for me. It's the sort of thing I think I need to jam a couple of times and just really get used to the riffs in it. There's a few new ones coming out on Nuclear Winter that I've got promos of, but I've only listened to them once or twice. There's Mortual, which is like a Costa Rican death metal band, I think, and also Drawn and Quartered. It's a long-running US death metal band. Yeah, I've only given them a couple of listens so far. It sounded pretty bloody good. So and they're on Nuclear Winter Records, so I'm always going to bloody check it out. There's another MSUO release just coming out soon. Cancer Void sounds pretty promising so far on my 1 or 2 listens. That Caustic Phlegm album hasn't quite grabbed me. It's another one that I think will click. So I don't know. There's certain albums that I listen to and I'd think, it's not grabbing me, but it should be. So yeah, there's some bands take a while to click for me. That Caustic Wound album, I don't know. I've been tempted to buy it, but it's always expensive, and I know it's not super long. It's just like American grind band. They're pretty good. Hasn't quite blown my head off. Same with that Diabolizer album. It's like a Turkish death metal band. I have their previous album, which is pretty bloody good. Can't say I listen to it that often, so I'll try a bit more with them. I did actually get a promo of that Profanatica before it came out. I think it's an EP that came out on Hell's Headbangers. That sounds pretty bloody nice. I think I want to track that one down because that quite surprised me how good that was. And the last one is not a metal one, but one that I always sort of check them out. Well, I should do more. Is Hex Vessel. It's like I don't know if they're all Finnish or it's the guy that was the singer of Beast Milk and then Grave Pleasures, Matt something or other. I think he was in Dot Guard for a while as well. It's his sort of mellower, more acoustic band. I checked out the new album, whatever it's called, and yeah, that actually quite surprised me. I don't know, it's a band that I tried a few times when I discovered Beast Milk and was just instantly in love with Beast Milk, and Hex Vessel was like, one of my mates, Shane's always a diehard fan, so I keep thinking, is there something I'm missing? But yeah, the new one sounded pretty bloody promising, I've got to say. All right, so the next category is stuff I'm unsure about. I don't know, I've listened to, and the first one is Catatonia, so as you might have seen in my last collection update, yeah, it hasn't quite clicked, but that's not a rarity for Catatonia. Maybe it's not that good, maybe I just haven't quite listened to it enough, but yeah, it's still there. The next one is Sigen. It's like I think they're German. It's like the main guy from what are they called? Necros Christos, I think. And I've got their previous album, whose name totally escapes me, which is pretty full on. It's just like a faster version of Necros Christos, really. Yeah, it's great. I liked it. And then the newer one's a lot more sort of death thrashy kind of stuff. It threw me as like more solos and just not what I was expecting. So, but good old Roger Kjorvik was talking it up, so I'll give it more of a go, I promise. What was the next? Ancient Death. It's I think they're on Profound Law. I've seen a few people loving it. Great praise. Yeah, it hasn't quite clicked with me, but again, I don't know. I I think I have to listen to these more in the car. That always seems to click albums for me at times. Maybe it's extra bottom end from the engine or something. Who knows? Maybe it's because I've actually got time to focus on it instead of, doom scrolling on Facebook or watching stupid sci-fi or whatever the hell I'm doing. Um, and the other one that I don't know, I like it, but hasn't quite blown me away is the new Lord Weird Slough Feg, their Traveller supplement or whatever it's called. I don't know, it's one of those things where if you slap Traveller on it, which is amazing bloody album, it should live up to those standards, and it's not quite there, I don't think. I mean, it's like 20-something years later. The band's changed a bit. It's obviously a couple of different dudes in the band, but I mean, I think Mike always probably wrote it all anyway. It's a bit more mature, so yeah, I'll keep trying on that one. That's pretty bloody good. So the next one is the disappointment side of things. This is stuff that just, yeah, I don't know. I'll try a little more on them, but yeah, I mean, sometimes it's not really worth pushing on some of this stuff. So first one I'll mention is the new Haggis album. I can't remember what it's called. Nice, pretty coloured cover. It's all right. It's too happy sounding. It's too nice. I don't know. I don't have a huge amount of Haggis. I got a billion bloody releases. I've got was it Gore and More Gore or something, which it's pretty bloody good. I mean, they're never one of my all-time favourite bands, but I was just kind of hoping that, they're on Tank Crime's cool. Everyone will be able to get it, and it's just like, I don't know, it's too nice. I know it's not pure gore grind, but yeah, it's supposed to be a bit nastier sounding. That said, I do listen to a lot of bouncy, sort of happy gore grind anyway, but I don't know, it just hasn't clicked with me. I've only given it 1 or 2 listens. As new Cancer album. It was just a bit bland. Same with the new Benediction. It was alright. Nothing wrong with it, but yeah. A band that's never quite clicked for me is Gruesome. It's good dudes. It's good blokes from good bands. But it's just too derivative of death. And I mean, I know that's what they're doing. It's not a secret or anything, but I think their new album is supposed to be moving on to Human. It still actually sounds more like bloody spiritual healing to me, but yeah, I've listened to it a few times. It's all right. And the new Guts album, Nightmare Fuel or something or other. Yeah, I mean, the previous Guts album didn't do a huge amount for me. Several of my mates were like, it's bloody awesome. And it's like, is it? Really? It's just a bit boring for me. And the last one I'll mention is one that I've only listened to once or twice. And yeah, I shouldn't be bagging out albums I've only listened to once or twice. But anyway, new Cryptopsy album. I was, I'd seen a bit of hype about it. I was like, I'll give it a go. And it was all right. That said, I am seeing them in December or whenever they're touring Australia. So yeah, maybe live it'll be a bit better. I don't know. I'll give it a bit more of a go. So that's the disappointment ones. I mean, honestly, I don't really listen to stuff that I know is going to suck. Although, not that it's going to suck, that is not going to be to my taste, let's put it that way. The next batch is this stuff I'm waiting for, so I don't really know what it sounds like. One of them I do. One of them's Sydney black metal band Pestilential Shadows. They're putting out yet another album, even though I swear they put one out last year, but anyway, I'm not complaining by any means. So I do have a promo for that, and I've listened to one song. It sounded pretty bloody killer, so yeah, I'll be cranking that one a bit more, I think, and definitely buying that one. They're good to see live as well if you get the chance. Other than that, I'm mostly keen for new Innumerable Forms, which I didn't even know existed until like a month ago, and as soon as I saw it, it's like, yes, buy. So yeah, they topped my 2023 or thereabouts albums of the year. So I love that band, just crushing death doomy sort of stuff. Beautiful. New Paradise Lost, I'll give it a go. They sort of come and go for me with Paradise Lost. I mean, you're never going to top Gothic, or actually of late I've been getting a bit more into, not more than Gothic, nothing more than Gothic, but I have actually been listening to Shades of God and, what's the album after that? Icon? I don't know. That's sort of slightly later, early year of Paradise Lost. Yeah, that's been clicking a lot more for me for some reason. I love Shades of God when it came out, but I don't know, it was one that I just kind of forgot about for several decades and went back to and went, oh shit, why haven't I not been listening to this bloody killer stuff? There's new Eternal Darkness is coming out, I think, this month or next month. Although I'm finding it hard to bloody track it down. It's coming out on Pulverized Record. Great record label. Love the work they do. They're in Singapore, which is really not that far from Australia. Their postage is horrendous to Australia. So I think the last thing they put out that I bought was what are they called? Moondark, which I loved last year. And yeah, I got it from like Europe because it was cheaper to come from like Plastic Head or somewhere or other. So I might have to do the same thing for Eternal Darkness because I added it to cart the other day and was like, oh shit, I'm not paying that much postage. Sorry. It's like 1.5 times the cost of the album and from here to Singapore is not that far away. So yeah, it's a shame, but I'll definitely be keen for Eternal Darkness, Swedish death doom sort of band, like heavy as hell. If you saw my Swedish top, I think they were in the top 15 to 30 of my Swedish death metal one. Yeah, they rule. Sadly, I think they just split up after recording it, which is a bugger. So yeah, I will track that one down. New Grave Infestation. I have actually listened to that a few times. I've just been waiting for it to come out on record. It was released on CD like months ago, but the record I think has finally come out, so well keen for that one. Just pretty straight death metal, but yeah, fine by me. New Graceless, I'll give a go. That's a band that I kind of missed in the past. Like I got one of their albums last year, I think, and it was pretty bloody nice. Just kind of, bolt throwery, Dutch sounding kind of stuff. Fine by me. So yeah, I'd probably track that new one down, or I'll probably give it a listen first. And one that I'm desperately trying to get, and really another one that is just too much postage, is it's a split between Putrefaction Sets In and Festa Decay. So Putrefaction Sets In's like a Swedish / Brazilian gore grind band that friggin' rule, and really nice. I love their album, whatever it was called, I can't remember. That was really bloody nice, and yeah, I mean, it's got like Urban from Regurgitate on guitar, so of course it's going to rule. Man can write riffs, that's for sure. So yeah, it's a split with Festa Decay's like Japanese gore grindy sort of band that I don't think I actually own anything of, but at any rate, it came out on is it Rescued for Life, I think. There's not that many of them, but their postage to Australia is also horrendous. It would cost me like $6 or something for, probably a not that long 12-inch that, yeah. So I'm kind of, I keep getting more and more tempted just to pull the trigger and pay $73 for it or whatever. But yeah, if I can find that somewhere else, yeah. So if you know anywhere other than there or Japan, where I'm pretty sure Festa Decay provided a link, and it was pretty much the same price to get it from Japan. It's like, bloody hell. Yeah, let me know if I can get it anywhere else. And the last thing that I'll mention, and I'm not holding my breath on this one. This was one of my, in those various metal tag videos that I've done. I think 2 years running I've been going, yeah, I'm super keen for the new Funebrarum album to come out, which supposed to come out several years ago. I think it was actually recorded 8 years ago or something ridiculous. So I'm not sure what the delay on that one is. That's another pulverized one that maybe they're just releasing, Eternal Darkness first or something. I don't know. I reckon they'd sell more Funebrarum than Eternal Darkness, but who knows? So yeah, I don't know what the hold up there is. I hope that comes out this year or at some stage ever. So, yeah, that's my mid-year so far. As I said, lots of death metal, bit of sludge, and not a giant amount else. I'm kind of surprised there isn't more amazing gore grind that has, blown me away or thereabouts. So, got any suggestions? Bung it in the comments. I'm well keen for any more gore grind, for sure. So, yeah, that's my top 10 or 10-ish so far, and whinging about other bands. So hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, see you again soon. Cheers.